So, you guys, today we're going to be talking about the NFL weekend. It was a pretty strange week, if you ask me. A lot of games that, you know, there are no. The chaos has officially begun, in my opinion. There are no more undefeated teams left, so that's pretty big. And then, yeah, Panthers still haven't won a game, so that sloop down is happening. So yeah, well, we're going to start with the Chiefs Broncos, a weird game. There's a whole video about that game that I made um, in a different video. Go check that out. It just said Chiefs beat. It's just Chiefs Broncos recap. Ravens Titans. This one was a close one, just outside of stats looking. But yeah, Ravens able to barely pull that one out in a close one. That one could end up being playoff implicated later. And then Panthers Dolphins. This is really the only game. I didn't really watch much football this weekend. I had a lot of stuff going on. This was the only game that I was really able to watch any of, and it was like the first. I was able to watch like from the from the third quarter to the end of. And this was a really good game, but Dolphins was able to pull it out. And then Texans Saints. Texans, man, they are playing way up to what they were expected to be. Texans winning 20-13. We're going to start with the Saints stats wise. Derek Carr, 32 for 50, 353, one touchdown, one pick. Taysom Hill threw a pass for 4 yards. And then rushing, Alvin Kamara, 19 for 68. Rashid Shaheed, 2 for 18. Taysom Hill, 1 for 2. Derek Carr, 1 for 2. Kendre, something like that. Kendre Miller, 2 for -1. Receiving, Chris Olave, 7 for 96. Rashid Shaheed, 2 for 85. Taysom Hill, 7 for 49. Michael Thomas, 5 for 45. Alvin Kamara, 7 for 36. Foster Moreau, 4 for 33. Kendre Miller, 1 for 13. Defensively, Marshawn Lattimore led. A sack for Demarion Davis. Sack for Kari Granderson. A pick from Zach Bone, not sure how you pronounce that. And yeah, that's all the stats for the Saints. Texans, C.J. Stroud, 13 for 27, 199, two touchdowns, 1 pick. Devin Singletary led rushing with 12 for 58. Dameon Pierce, 13 for 34. Xavier Hutchinson, 2 for 15. Mike Boone, 1 for 11. C.J. Stroud, 3 for 2. Nico Collins receiving, 4 for 80. Dalton Schultz, 4 for 61 with a touchdown. Noah Brown, 2 for 37. Brevin Jordan, 1 for 11. Robert Woods, 1 for 6. Devin Singletary, 1 for 4. Blake Cashman led tackles with 9. A sack for Sheldon Jenkins. A pick for Steven Nelson. Half a sack for Jonathan Grenard, something like that. And then Malik Collins, a half a sack. So yeah, that game, again, didn't really watch much games this week. But, yeah, very good game. And, yeah, Texans able to get the win there. And then Commanders Falcons. I was kind of looking at this one from afar as the other games are going on. Commanders able to pick up a win. Sam Howell, what's their record now? 3-3 or something? Yeah, 3-3. Commanders with a great season so far. Hopefully they can keep it up. And then Jaguars demolishing the Colts, 37-20. Colts, by the way, it was announced a couple days ago. Anthony Richardson with a shoulder injury. He's done for the year, so that is unfortunate. We'll see how far Minshew can take them. And then Seahawks Bengals. This one another close one, 13-17. What the world's up with that? 13-17. I'll start with the Seahawks. Geno Smith, 27 for 41, 326 and 2 interceptions. Kenneth Walker, 19 for 62, 1 touchdown. Geno Smith, 4 for 20. Zach Charbonnet, 2 for 5. Receiving, Tyler Lockett, 6 for 94. DK Metcalf, 4 for 69. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 4 for 48. Jake Bobo, 2 for 43. Kenneth Walker, 3 for 27. Colby Parkinson, 3 for 19. Zach Charbonnet, 2 for 14. Noah Fant, 1 for 9. Will Disley, 1 for 4. DJ Dallas, 1 for -1. Defensively, Quandre Diggs led with 8 tackles. A sack for Dramont Jones. A sack for Jaron Reed. A sack for Boye Mafe. Then a pick from Trey Brown, and that is it defensively. And then the Bengals able to pick up their third win. I thought they were 2, whatever. Bengals able to pick up a win. Joe Burrow, 24 for 35, 185, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Joe Mixon, 12 for 38. Joe Burrow, 2 for 4. Chase Brown, 1 for 4. That was rushing, by the way. Bengals unable to get the rushing game going much, but the passing game was elite. Well, not really elite, but they had a lot of receivers out there. Jamar Chase, 6 for 80. Tyler Boyd, 7 for 38 for 1 touchdown. Joe Mixon, 3 for 24. T. Higgins, 2 for 20. Chase Brown, 1 for 8. Irv Smith Jr., 1 for 5. Drew Sample, 1 for 4. Trayvon Williams, 2 for 3. And then Andre Isavas, something like that. Logan Wilson led tackles with 8 and a half a sack. Cam Taylor Britt had a INT. Sam Hubbard had a sack. Mike Hilton had a pick. BJ Hill had a half sack. Trey Henderson had a sack. Sorry. Cameron Sample had a sack. So that's a really good game for the Bengals, able to kind of figure things out as they started out 0-3, but they're now having a very solid season. And then Bears Vikings. Bears Vikings 19-13. Vikings able to get the win, their second win of the year. I'll start with the Bears, as the Bears, Tyson Bagent, 10 for 14, 83, 1 interception. I'm not sure if Fields got benched or if he got hurt or what. Fields 6 for 10, 58, and 1 interception as well. And then rushing, Dante Foreman, 15 for 65. Justin Fields, 8 for 46. Darrington Evans, 9 for 32. Velus Jones Jr., 3 for 15. Tyson Bagent, 2 for 4. Receiving, DJ Moore, 5 for 51. Darnell Mooney, 2 for 48. Tyler Scott, 2 for 12. Robert Tunyon, 1 for 11. Cole Kmet, 2 for 9. Velus Jones Jr., 1 for 5. Dante Foreman, 1 for 2. Darrington Evans, 1 for 2. Kari Blasingame, 1 for 1. And then Trent Taylor had a target but no catches. And then TJ Edwards led tackles with 6, and then 1 sack for him, and then a half a sack for Jaquan Brisker and DeMarcus Walker. And then that is it defensively. And then we go to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, 21 for 31, 181 yards, 1 touchdown. Alexander Madison, 18 for 44. Cam Akers, 1 for 8. This is rushing, by the way. Brandon Powell, 1 for -1. And then Kirk Cousins, 2 for -5. Those were probably both sacks. TJ Hawkinson, 6 for 50. KJ Osborne, 4 for 48. Receiving, by the way. Alexander Madison, 4 for 28. Brandon Powell, 3 for 20. Cam Akers, 1 for 7. Defensively, Cameron Bynum led with 9 tackles. 2 sacks for Danielle Hunter. A pick for Jordan Hicks. A sack for Josh Metellus. A sack for Harrison Phillips. A sack for DJ Wonnum. A pick by Byron Murphy. And then that is it for this game. A very hard-fought win for the Vikings. But now we go to the next game, which is, who was it? 49ers Browns. This one, I was also watching kind of on and off as the game ended. Browns able to get the win, knocking off one of the 2 undefeated teams that were reigning. Now there's 0. We're going to start with the 49ers. Brock Purdy didn't have a great game. What the 49ers need him to be is a mistake-free football player, which he has been for the most part, most of his career. But this game, he was not. He had a pick. He had some bad throws. 12 for 27, 121, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Christian McCaffrey, who was injured in the middle of this game with an oblique injury, he should be back. 11 for 43. Jordan Mason, 5 for 27. Ray McLeod, 2 for 23. Mason had a touchdown, by the way. Deebo Samuel, 2 for 11. Brock Purdy, 3 for 7. And then Elijah Mitchell, 2 for -3. Receiving, Brandon Ayuk, 4 for 76. Jawan Jenkins, 2 for 26. McCaffrey, 3 for 9, 1 touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, McCaffrey had 3 for 9, 1 touchdown. Juszczyk had 1 for 9. McLeod had 1 for 4. Kittle had 1 for 1. And then Ross Dwelly and Deebo Samuel were both targeted, but no catches. Taluana Hufanga. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but Hufanga he led with 5 tackles, and then a pick by Demoder Lanier, I think. Then a pick from Fred Warner, a sack from Randy Gregory and Nick Bosa, and then that is it for the Niners. And then for the Browns, the winners, P.J. Walker, 18 for 34, 192, 2 interceptions. Rushing, Jerome Ford had a solid game, 17 for 84. Kareem Hunt, 12 for 47, 1 touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, 1 for 20. Elijah Moore, 1 for 8. P.J. Walker, it says Philip Walker, that's kind of funny. P.J. Walker, 3 for 11. Amari Cooper, 4 for 108. Kareem Hunt, 3 for 24. David Njoku, 3 for 24. Elijah Moore, 4 for 19. Jerome Ford, 2 for 7. David Bell, 1 for 6. Marquise Brown, 1 for 4. And then Donovan Peoples-Jones, Harrison Bryant, and Jordan Atkins all targeted. Ronnie McLeod Jr. led tackling with 7. Martin Emerson Jr., 1 interception, 1 sack for JOK, and then a sack for Sion Takitaki, and that is it defensively. A weird game that the Browns were able to win. That's a huge one right there to knock off one of the undefeated teams that remained. Then Patriots, Raiders. That one was also a fun one. That was also a close one. We're not going to go into stats for that one, though, just for time. And then Lions, Buccaneers. Lions 20-6. Cardinals 9. Rams 26. Rams with the win there. And then Jets, Eagles. We're going to go into stats for this one because this was a meaningful game. Eagles getting their first loss of the year. So Jalen Hurts, 28 for 45, 280, 1 touchdown, 3 picks. That's the breaker there. 3 picks is not what you want to see. Hurts, 8 for 47, 1 touchdown. DeAndre Swift, 10 for 18. Kenneth Gainwell, 2 for 13. And then Boston Scott, 2 for 2. Receiving, A.J. Brown, 7 for 131. Devontae Smith, 5 for 44. Dallas Goedert, 5 for 42. DeAndre Swift, 8 for 40. Boston Scott, 1 for 14. Alamade Zaccheaus, 1 for 5. Kenneth Gainwell, 1 for 4. Defensively, Hassan Reddick has 4 tackles and 2.5 sacks. He led defensively. A sack for Josh Sweat, a half a sack for Milton Williams. And then that is it defensively. And I believe there was a pick up there, too. Nope, no picks. I was wrong. And then now let's go to the Jets, who they had some picks. Zach Wilson, 19 for 33, 186. No touchdowns, no picks. But Breece Hall, 12 carries for 39 yards, 1 touchdown. Xavier Gibson, 1 for 18. Zach Wilson, 4 for 15. Dalvin Cook, 3 for 12. Michael Carter, 1 for 5. Garrett Wilson, receiving-wise, 8 for 90. Breece Hall, 5 for 54. Tyler Conklin, 3 for 24. Alan Lazard, 1 for 5. Jeremy Rudkert, 1 for 8. Dalvin Cook, 1 for 2. C.J. Uzomah, McCole Hardman, Michael Carter, and Randall Cobb all targeted but no catches. Quincy Williams led with 9 tackles, and then Tony Adams with a pick, Bryce Hall with a pick, then Quinnen Williams with a pick, and then 1.5 sacks for Bryce Huff, and then there's a half a sack somewhere, half a sack for Quentin Jefferson. So that's that game. That was probably one of the most entertaining games of the weekend. And then Giants Bills. Bills able to pick up that one in a close Sunday Night Football matchup. Some questionable calls there. We're not going to go over the stats for that one. And then the Cowboys Chargers, again, for time purposes, not going to go over the stats for that one. A hard fought game, but just Chargers unable to fight. And Cowboys get the win there, so that's huge for playoff implications down the road. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.